Now on the Suze Orman Show. Your family, your money.
And what you need to know when it comes to money and the legal responsibility of it.
Plus, they're engaged to be married, but his debt has her thinking twice.
I have thought about postponing and canceling the wedding.
That was heavy.
And you ask Suze, can I afford it?
I want to go to London this fall. I have $24,000 in student loans at 3.6%.
Hi everybody, I'm Suze Orman and you are watching the Suze Orman Show. Tonight I begin with making finances a family affair and what you need to know when it comes to money and the legal responsibility of it. So let's see what you know and you don't know by playing a game of true or false. True or false, your parents are terrible with money and they've accumulated $65,000 of credit card debt. If they die tomorrow, you will be responsible for their debt. The answer is false. As long as you don't have your name on any of their credit cards or anything like that, you will not be responsible. However, you need to know if they do have any money, the creditors are going to come after their estate to get that money. Next, true or false? Your child got into college. She says she will handle her debt on her own, but she needs you to co-sign her loans. The loans are in her name, so she will be legally responsible for them. The answer is false. While it is true, she's legally responsible for them, you co-signed. So you're going to be legally responsible for those payments. So you better think twice before you co-sign a student loan. Because if you're co-signing a student loan, that means you're getting a private student loan and they are not dischargeable in bankruptcy in most cases. Be very, very careful. True or false? You're about to get married. Your fiance has a terrible FICO score. Once you get married, their FICO score will affect your score. The answer is false. However, after you are married, and now you want to go and you buy a house or something like that, their low FICO score will affect the interest rate that you will pay on a house that you buy in both of your names. So just know that. True or false? You're engaged to a person with tens of thousands of dollars of debt. When you get married, you will be legally responsible for their debt. The answer is false. You will not be legally responsible for the debt they bring into the marriage. However, you may be responsible for the debt they incur during the marriage. Do you all understand that there are many legal responsibilities when you get married? So you need to know what they are, you need to know what legal responsibilities are for your parents, for your children, and you just need to know it. So when you do make finances a family affair, it will be a happy one. All right, everybody, let's go and make a house call.
Hey Susie, my name is Stacy and I'm 30 years old. I'm engaged to be married and my fiance is drowning in debt. Can you please help us?
I found out that Chris had his debt about 4 or 5 months into dating.
I've been divorced now 3 years. I have 3 children that I have with my ex-wife. I have about $200,000 in student loan debt and about $20,000 worth of credit card debt. I've tried a couple times to figure out a plan, but I just feel like the debt is so massive that my income alone is just not able to put a dent in it whatsoever.
Chris and I are currently planning a wedding. We decided on the destination wedding because it cuts the cost almost in half for us.
It's very upsetting that I can't put any money towards the wedding. She has been picking up extra shifts and she tells me the amount of money she's putting towards it each month, and I feel pretty small that I'm not able to put anything towards it so far.
Chris's debt, it was always in the back of my mind, but I think being in love and wanting to get married kind of, pushed all that to the side. If we ever wanted a house, if we ever wanted kids, if we ever wanted anything more than what we have now, I feel like I would be responsible for most of it. I have thought about postponing and canceling the wedding. I have saved the dates upstairs that I've had for a couple months now that are just sitting there ready to be mailed.
I don't think postponing the wedding would be a good idea personally. Financially, it probably would make sense, but in our relationship, I don't think it would be a good thing.
If we don't get married, I'm not sure what would happen to our relationship. We can't seem to find a solution with just Chris and I talking about it. As the wedding approaches, it's gonna be too late pretty soon, and I just don't want to make a mistake. We're desperate for help.
That was heavy. That was a really heavy admission by the two of you. Right before, a few months before, you're supposed to be saying, I do. You especially, Stacy, are saying, I don't know. I don't know. So why now? Why now, after you've had all these months, you've known Chris for 2.5 years, what pushed you over the edge now to write into the Suze Orman Show?
I think it was before getting engaged, I didn't really look at the big picture. I didn't look at all the aspects of our relationship. Over the last few months, really with us talking and, knowing how finances can affect a marriage is, when I came to the realization that this is a big deal, that this could be a deal breaker, that this is something that down the road could end our marriage.
And, what's interesting is you keep referring to it how finances can affect a marriage. But is it not true that the current finances have affected your relationship right now? We're not even talking about marriage, we're talking about right now. Because when you wrote in, you said things like, you can't get through to him. That you're afraid, are you ever going to be able to have kids, a home, all things that I know you want. So let's just put a pin in that for 1 second, because Chris, how does it feel to you to even be here? How is this feeling to you?
It's stressful. Like I said, I've tried to do this myself, but I'm stressed, but I'm also, up for any ideas because, like I said, it just is so much debt that I don't even know where to begin.
I heard you say that you have so much debt that there's no way you can tackle it by yourself. Stacy, when you hear him say that, how does that make you feel?
It's something that I'm aware of. I know that without me, he, wouldn't be able to pay the bills and, have a place to live. I feel bad for him, but this wouldn't be a reason for me to stay in the relationship.
All right. Did you just hear what your bride-to-be just said? I'm just going to say, first of all, I'm just going to get this out of the way right now. I think it would be the greatest mistake you could ever make in your lives if you get married at this point in time. You've only known each other 2.5 years. These problems are emerging. You have about $244,000 of student loan debt. Chris, not $200,000. And that right now, a lot of it is in default. So you aren't even making any payments on this student loan debt, and you're still barely making it. Here you are at the ages of 30 and 36 with, monthly take-home income of $5,500 between the two of you, monthly expenses of $5,300 without you paying close to $2,500 or $3,000 a month, which is what you would owe on these student loans. And, Stacy, all you have is $8,300 in an emergency fund, $10,000 in a retirement fund. You have $311,000 of consumer loan debt. And so we have a negative net worth of almost $300,000. $40,000. Oh, excuse me, we don't have a negative net worth. Really, Chris has the negative net worth, because really the only money you owe, Stace, is the $40,000 that you owe to your father on a student loan that he lent you money for. So that is really an unbalanced financial balance sheet. And what I'm afraid of is that, Stacy, for you to go ahead with this, you are going to have to make some serious decisions here. Will you ever be able to have a child of your own with this kind of debt? What do you think the answer to that question is, Chris?
It'd be extremely difficult.
All right, so, and is that something, Stace, that's really, really important to you, that you, who are 30 years of age, do you really want to have a child of your own?
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Do you want to own a home of your own?
Yes.
Chances of you ever being able to do that with the debt that we are carrying are pretty nil. Are these sacrifices that you are willing to make to live the lifestyle that you are living right now, really, to be able to say I do to the man sitting next to you? Are you?
I don't think so. No.
All right. And I don't think so either. And Chris, you need to hear what Stacy just said. I'm not here to bust the two of you up by any means, but I am here because Stacy wrote in. She has been saving the Save Your Date cards and not being able to mail them out because, in my opinion, in your heart, Stacy, you know that getting married is not the right thing to do at this point in time. Now, does that mean that the two of you need to call your relationship over? I don't think so. What it does mean, however, is that, Chris, you need to stop talking about what you want to do, and you need to show Stacy what you are capable of doing. You are going to have to work 2, 3, 4 jobs. I don't know how many jobs it's going to take, but you are going to have to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for a long time to get this cleared up. Do you get that?
I do.
Chris, with or without Stacy, you are in a serious financial bind. Now, we have certain things that you can do with your student loans, and offline, off TV, we will tell you a plan for you to start dealing with about $120,000 or whatever it is of your student loans. But a lot of your student loans are private student loans, and there really is very little that we can do about those. So we will deal with you on your student loans and help you as much as we can. But the real thing that the two of you need to come to grips here is, do you love each other enough? Do you like each other enough to make the serious sacrifices that the two of you are going to have to make to say, I do? But for now, can we at least be in agreement that you need to postpone the wedding?
It's up to you.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and Chris, you're just going to have to honor that decision, because when you say I do, it is a serious legal obligation, but it's better to handle this now before you have legally committed to each other when really you're not ready to do so.
Hi Susie, it's Stacy. I just wanted to update you since we've been on the show. Chris and I took some time to absorb your tough love, and we did decide to postpone the wedding. But the good news is that he has started to take the steps to rehabilitate his student loans, and he's looking into other job opportunities to make more money. We are really excited to see what these changes could bring, and thank you so much for your help.
Up next, it's a woman's worst nightmare.
I feel consumed by this overwhelming fear of, are you ready? Becoming a homeless bag lady.
Please listen to me.
And later, you ask Susie, can I afford it?
Come on, show me the money so I can say yes.
We have a $39,000 car loan and $29,000 in credit card debt.
Welcome back to the Suze Orman Show. We are going to Virginia. Chris, go for it.
Hi, Susie. Thanks for having me. I'm thinking about refinancing our home and taking out some additional money, doing so, to pay off some credit card debt. Some of the debt is at 0% interest, and the rest of it's on a high-interest retail card. This is due to some excess shopping by myself and my wife, and it isn't the first time it's happened. So we've agreed to cut up the cards and just start fresh by tackling this debt head on. Are we on the right track doing this?
Nope, you are not, sir. And the reason you are not is you are transferring unsecured debt, which is credit card debt, to secured debt, which is a debt on your home. It is secured by your house. If anything happens and you can't make those payments, there goes your house. If something happens and you have credit cards and you can't pay it, what are they going to do? Really, there's not a lot they can do. Sure, they could sue you, they could put a lien on your home, but they can't really take anything away from you right now. That's number one. Number two, you can cut up all the credit cards you want. But if you see something and you want to spend it or buy it and you have the ability to call up and get another credit card, which you will, or you'll find yourself in credit card debt again. This is what I want you to do. Leave everything exactly like it is. All your excess money goes to what? To pay down the credit card at the highest interest rate. Once that's gone, take that amount of money and get rid of the ones at 0%. But do not, and I repeat, do not refinance your home to tackle this debt head on. Do you hear me? We are going to Virginia. Patty, what is your question?
Hi, Susie. Thanks for having me on the show. I make good money, and I have a considerable amount of savings, but I feel consumed by this overwhelming fear of, are you ready, becoming a homeless bag lady.
Yeah.
I can't seem to reassure myself that I'll be okay. The fear is so bad that I'm horrified when people throw out plastic bags after only one use. I don't buy myself much beyond the essentials. How do I relax and start enjoying my money?
How old are you?
I'm 56.
Uh-huh. And do you own a home?
I do own a home.
And do you own it outright?
I do not. I still owe approximately $193,000 on it.
And do you happen to have, first of all, is this a house that you're going to stay in?
Likely so.
Likely so. Do you have $193,000 just sitting around that you could pay off the mortgage of that home?
Yes, if I had to.
If you had to. All right, so listen to me. There is a progression when it comes to money as to how you step into your financial future. If your fear is being homeless and being a bag lady on the street, the way you get rid of that fear is at least owning your home outright so that you know no matter what happens, you are not going to end up living on the street. Would you agree with that?
That makes sense, yes.
Right. Now, nothing will make you feel more powerful than owning your own home outright. And at the age of 56, there's nothing wrong with you owning your own home outright. I'm sure the $193,000 that you have most likely is in a money market account or a savings account, making you like 0.5% interest that's taxable. How many years do you have left on the mortgage?
Oh, I'm not sure. I'd say maybe as many as 8.
8. All right, so then please listen to me. If you only have 8 years left on your mortgage, most of your money is going to the principal repayment now and giving you very little of a tax write-off. So if you want to be smart with your money and make your first move to free up this fear, pay off the mortgage on your home, and then we can go from there. Let's go to Sarah in California. Go for it.
Hi, Susie. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Ask me a question.
So I've been at my current job for about 2 years now, and I really feel like I hit the jackpot with my company stock plan. It's currently valued at $200,000, of which about $50,000 is available to me. I'm okay with my current renting situation, and my top priority really is to just build a good financial situation for myself in the future. But right now, with interest rates so low, my family's really pressuring me that I should buy a home ASAP so I don't miss my opportunity. So should I be selling my stocks in order to buy a home?
Girlfriend, do you want to be a homeowner?
I do.
You do. So when you say to me that your family is pressuring you to sell the stock so that you can buy a home, that's a whole lot different than you saying to me, Susie, I really want to be a homeowner. So I was thinking maybe I should take $50,000 of the stock money and buy myself a home. Do you understand the difference between those two?
Absolutely.
All right, so which one is it? Really?
Well,
which one is it really? The one you said to me, you listened to me, girlfriend. You did not say that to me. You said your family is pressuring you to buy a home and take advantage of these low interest rates, which means that's probably why you really want to do it, right?
Well, I do, and it makes sense to me. But at the same time, I just came into this money. So I really want to make sure that I'm building a good financial house so that when I buy a home, I'm financially prepared for everything that will come with it.
All right. So listen, this is a very simple solution to this problem. You aren't ready to do this yet. And it doesn't matter what your family thinks. I don't think you're going to see interest rates gyrate that much here. You don't have to worry about it. You're calling from California. Prices have already skyrocketed there. And if anything, they'll decrease in value, you know, even if interest rates do start to go up. So it will equal out there. Until you are ready to do something, it is better to do nothing.
Up next, you can't afford to miss. Can I afford it?
We'd really like to have more livable space and a place to entertain friends and family.
So $15,000, well, that seems reasonable to want to entertain friends and family, but only if you can afford it.
And 14-year-old Rachel wants a laptop.
If you were me, would you approve or deny you?
I'm not actually sure, to be honest.
What do you want to buy?
I want to go to London.
2015 Chevy Equinox.
Laptop, computer.
Yes, indeedy, it is time for Can I Afford It? This is where you call in. You tell me what it is that you want to buy. I look at your numbers. I figure it out for you. And I tell you if you can afford it or not. Are you ready? Let's begin. Kenneth, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. I love your show. I want to go to London this fall. A friend of mine is going, and she's renting out a flat for the entire time she's there. And she's willing to pay for it all by herself, which means I might be able to afford it to go. It would be a 2-week trip costing about $4,000.
And so $4,000 for 2 weeks, and you want to go, and do you want to go because you really want to go, or do you want to go to help out your friend?
It's on my bucket list.
It's on your bucket list, then, boyfriend, show me the money.
All right. My take-home pay is $4,250 a month.
Uh-huh.
My expenses are $3,150 a month, and that includes about $1,250 in rent.
Yeah.
I have $24,000 in student loans at 3.6%. And in savings, I have $22,000 in liquid, $5,000 in investments, and $163,000 in retirement.
And how are you going to pay for this?
My emergency fund is a little short, as you can see, but I have an opportunity to cash out some unused paid vacation at work. I have about 18 weeks. I figured the trip would be 2 weeks because it's a 2-week trip, and I would use 4 weeks to cover my expenses. So I'd still have 2 weeks, 12 weeks of vacation unused that I can still keep.
Uh-huh. And did you ever think about cashing out your vacation pay to get your emergency fund up there just a little bit and add more to investments and things like that? Did you ever think about that?
I had, and the reason I hadn't was because I get cost of living increases every year that pay more than the savings account would save.
And so, but you could have done all of that, but no matter what, you are denied. And you are denied, I know, you are denied for many reasons, but the main reason is you really, at this point in time, at the age of 33, I don't think you can afford it. And I have a gut feeling that your friend who is going, she can't or he can't afford it either. Jim, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. Pleasure to be on your show. We want to spend about $15,000 to finish our basement.
A basement remodel, $15,000. What are you saying? You have a small den?
We have a very small den, and we'd really like to have more livable space and a place to entertain friends and family.
And so $15,000, well, that seems reasonable to want to entertain friends and family, but only if you can afford it. Show me the numbers.
Okay, our take-home is $11,169 a month combined.
That's good.
Our expenses are $6,356 a month.
That's even better. Go on.
For debt, we have $333,000 on a 30-year fixed mortgage.
It's okay. Go on.
And in savings, we have $112,000 liquid, $3,400 in investments, and $101,000 in retirement.
Jim Boy, how are you going to pay for this?
We would like to put it on a credit card that gets 2% cash back, but if we can't do that, we would just pay for it straight out of our liquid.
But if you put it on a credit card that gets 2% cash back, then you would take the money out of liquid and pay it off at the end of the month, correct?
Right.
You got it approved. You have the money to do so. You are 31 years of age. You're doing great, Jim. You're doing great. Anyway, Carol, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. Thanks for taking my call. I'd like to buy a 2015 Chevy Equinox for about $30,000.
A Chevy Equinox. Is it a good-looking car? It looks like a good-looking car, doesn't it?
I like it.
I love that you want to buy American Girlfriend. Show me the money.
Okay, Susie, we take home about $15,750 a month combined. Our expenses are $7,524 a month. For our debt, we have a mortgage of $130,000 on a 15-year fixed, and we own our primary residence and some rentals and some other property outright. And in savings, we have $251,000 and $115,000 in investments and $175,000 in retirement.
And how are you going to pay for this?
I would take the money out of savings, or if they're offering 0% financing, I would do that.
Over how long of a period of time?
I would probably do 3 years.
Girlfriend, you are approved.
Oh,
You're
thank you,
approved
Susie.
either way. Now, normally, I just want to say this, you would look at these numbers and think, oh, they only have $175,000 in retirement, $115,000 in investments, but you own those properties outright that are bringing in income. I think you're doing just great. Richard, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. I want to take my family, my wife, on our 25th anniversary to Portugal, Spain, and Morocco. The total cost of the trip will cost us about $20,000.
That's sweet. How long you been married?
We're 25 years.
25 years. Boyfriend, come on, show me the money so I can say yes.
Okay, well, my take-home with my wife is about $18,000, and it includes about $6,200 in our rentals. Our expenses are about $15,700 a month. And our mortgages between the rentals is about $985,000, and the fixed mortgages on those are 15 to 30 year. We have a $39,000 car loan and $29,000 in credit card debt. So we have in our savings account $20,000 liquid cash. In our investments, we have $256,000. And then in my retirement, I have a $311,000 put away.
And how are you going to pay for this?
Well, I was thinking about, since I have that liquid cash, using about half of that amount of money and then the remainder on a credit card that I have low interest on.
Yeah.
About 8.9% with my credit union.
You got it. Denied. Denied. Maybe I need to say it again. Denied. Richard, you are 54 years of age, and that you are way short right now on the money that you need in an emergency fund. You need over $100,000 in an emergency fund. You already have credit card debt. You can't add to your credit card debt. There's no way that we know, are your rentals going to continue to rent from you, or are you going to get somebody that's in there and they can't pay you? You are going down the wrong road here. Do not go, because you cannot afford it. All right, now it's time for Can I Afford It Junior? This is where somebody under the age of 16 calls in. They tell me what it is that they want to buy, and I tell them if they can afford it or not. Are you ready? Here we go again. Rachel, coming to us on webcam. Girlfriend, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Hi, Susie. I want to get a laptop computer for around $250.
And why do you want to do that?
I think this is a need, more of a need than a want, because I'm a freshman in high school and I'm at the point where I need a laptop to type school reports and I can't really keep consuming my mom's laptop. But it's also a want because I'm also into creative writing and I write novels in my free time.
So it's a need and a want, is that correct?
Yes, but more of a need for me.
More of a need for you. All right, show me the money and I'll decide for you.
Okay, so I make $35 a month, and that includes my allowance, money for recycling. I don't have any expenses and no debt, thank goodness. And in savings, I have $447 in liquid, which includes $40 at hand. And, yeah.
And so that's everything, right? And so
Yes.
How are you going to pay for this $250 computer?
For my savings, and I expect to get about $100 for my birthday in March, so I'm trying to wait until March, and I'll use that to help.
And so if you were me, would you approve or deny you?
I'm not actually sure, to be honest, because I know your rule about needs also.
Yes.
Needs and wants another difference, so.
I love that, girlfriend, so I will decide for you. You have been approved. And you're approved because you strike me as somebody who knows the difference between needs and wants. I love that you went there. And at this point in time, as a freshman in high school, I have to tell you, I think a computer is a need. So you go right on out there and you get it. And if you don't want to wait till you have the $100, you don't have to, because you can just get it and replace it. But go ahead and do it. Want to be part of Can I Afford It? All you have to do is go to my website, SuzeOrman.com, and you will find the information that you need to know there to come and play with me right here. And if you are chosen to be on the air, guess what? We will send you a t-shirt. See this? With my verdict on it, just for you, Rachel. This one's coming your way.
Up next, the best way to pay.
The only way, in my opinion, that you should be paying any student loan is...
And later.
I recently took a look at my retirement account and am now worried that I won't have enough.
But is it as bad as Jacqueline thinks?
If I was going to give you a grade for you to be able to retire in 21 years, I would give you...
Wow, okay.
Welcome back to the control room at CNBC headquarters. So many ways for you to be part of the Suze Orman Show. Take a look at your screen. You can send in an email, join me on Facebook, or if you send in a tweet and put hashtag Ask Suze, it comes to us right here. And if we choose your tweet, it will be on the air. Let's see what's trending right now. We have at Jared Lamar. I just left a job and need to roll over my 401k. Could you explain custodian to custodian transfer? Oh, you betcha I can, my dear Jared. It's very simple. Where your old employer is involved with your 401k, that's known as a custodian. Wherever you open up your new IRA rollover, that company is going to be known as a custodian. So simply, your IRA rollover company contacts your old employer, and it goes directly from your old employer, one custodian, in directly to your IRA rollover at your new custodian, and therefore, that's how you do it. Let's see what else is trending. We have at Blame Blaine. Is it more beneficial to max out your Roth IRA at the beginning of the year or make contributions throughout the year? I have to tell you, Blaine, if I were you, I would make them at the beginning of the year in one lump sum, let the money sit in there, and then every single month within your Roth IRA, invest it in an exchange-traded fund, mutual fund, or some stock. That would be the best way to go, in my opinion. All right, let's go to webcam. We are going to Thomas, coming to us from Brooklyn. Boyfriend, ask me your question.
Hi, Susie. I have about $44,000 in student loan debt. Currently, I'm on the 25-year graduated plan, which is the lowest payment, which I can afford right now at my current salary. I just found out that with the pay-as-you-earn plan, I could be paying less than I am now, and after only 20 years, the balance of my loans will be forgiven. But the only catch with this is that whatever is left over at the end of the loan will be counted as, or the balance that's forgiven will be counted as taxable income. So what I'm calling to ask is, not knowing what my finances are going to be 20 years from now, should I continue with the 25-year plan that I'm on currently, or should I be paying less and have a loan forgiveness but take on the burden of taxable income 20 years from now?
I have to tell you, either way you go, boyfriend, if you owe money still at the end of the payment period, you are going to owe ordinary income taxes on that amount of money. So the truth is, the only way, in my opinion, that you should be paying any student loan is on the standard repayment method, where it is gone in 10 years and that is it. However, if you cannot afford to do so, then what are you going to do? So if I were you, I would choose the plan that gives me the least amount of taxable income at the end of the payment period. All right, everybody, let's go back to the studio, and here's what's coming up next.
Jacqueline asks Susie,
How am I doing?
Take a breath here, take a breath.
and later, test your money smarts in Susie's Pop Money Quiz.
I'm telling you, it's going to swing all year. It's going to swing all year. Let's swing. It's going to swing. Welcome back to the Suze Orman Show.
Hi, Susie. I'm 46, single, and I work as a contract manager. I recently took a look at my retirement account and am now worried that I won't have enough to fill my basic necessities. I was raised in a military family and lived abroad, so travel is really important to me. My goal is to retire at 67 and take a few trips each year as long as my health permits. Susie, how am I doing?
That penguin is stinky, isn't it, Jacqueline? I've been by penguins. Was that a stinky one, too?
A little bit, yes.
Can you believe what they smell like? That's besides the point here, girlfriend. You want to know if you can retire at the age of 67, and if you were going to give yourself a grade, what grade would you give yourself?
I'd give myself a C- because I think I haven't saved enough to keep up with my lifestyle in my elder years, and I don't have a strategy.
Got it. But we want to figure out for you to be able to keep your lifestyle and retire, and that's my job here to tell you, can you, and if you can't, how to do so. So let's first show everybody your numbers. You are currently 46 years of age. You have $149,000 approximately in retirement. You have a whopping $300 in an emergency fund. Your current home value is $730,000, but you do still owe $490,000 approximately on it. You have consumer debt of about $85,000. So here we are at the age of 46 with a total net worth of only $305,000 approximately. Let's look at your income versus your expenses. You do take home $9,450 a month. Currently, your monthly expenses are $8,178 a month. So you have about a $1,200 a month excess as we speak. All right, if I was going to give you a grade for you to be able to retire in 21 years, keeping your lifestyle the way that it is, I would give you an F.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, all right. Take a breath here, take a breath. The reason that I gave you an F is as follows. Even though your home is going to be paid off, you are going to have to increase your expenses by buying your own health insurance, all the other insurances, long-term care insurance. So your goal after the house is paid off to live the lifestyle that you are currently living is still about $8,000 a month. Now at $8,000 a month, once you retire at 67, your Social Security would be about $2,100 a month after taxes. You're going to get still about $2,300 a month of rental income. Yes, maybe that will go up over all these years, but so will all these other expenses to keep the house, because the house is going to get older and things like that. But so just let's keep it at $2,300 a month. Your income from your investments after taxes is going to be about $2,000 a month. So that's going to make $6,400 a month after tax income with a goal of $8,000. So we're about $1,600 a month short. And $1,600 a month short is a whole lot of money. You either meet your goal or you don't. So if you want to continue this lifestyle, here is your way to an A. Your goal is still $8,000 a month. Nothing's going to change there. But you are to work until you are 70. If you work till you are 70, you claim Social Security at 70, you have a few more years to save your mortgage money and invest it and everything. That's going to generate more income for you. And that, along with your rental payment, you're looking at about $8,000 a month after tax income to meet your $8,000 expenses. Now, you may find that that's too close, so maybe you won't quite live the lifestyle that you're living, but that will be up to you. But that is your way to an A.
Up next, one more thing Suze wants you to know.
It's not easy to say to somebody, guess what, you shouldn't get married right now. But here is the truth for everybody. Time to test your money smarts in a Suze Pop Money Quiz. The best place for your emergency savings fund is A, in a liquid account at a bank or credit union with the highest interest rate possible. B, in a fireproof safe in your home so you have access in an emergency. C, in your checking account, knowing what part of your balance is for emergencies. Or D, in your 401k so your savings grows tax deferred. The answer after the break. Before the break, I asked, the best place for your emergency savings fund is where? The answer is A, in a liquid account at a bank or credit union with the highest interest rate possible. All right, that's almost a wrap on the Suze Orman Show. But before we go, there's still one more thing I want you to know. Earlier tonight, our guests, Stacy and Chris, were about to get married in the next few months, but Stacy just wasn't sure, so she wrote in to the show. Chris had about $250,000 of student loan debt and other debt, and really, they should keep their marriage on hold for now. It was a heavy segment for me, because it's not easy to say to somebody, guess what, you shouldn't get married right now. But here is the truth for everybody. You know deep down inside, you know it, if something is right or something is wrong. And just sweeping it under the carpet isn't going to make it go away. You have got to understand that marriage is legal and there are tremendous financial obligations that come with it. So if you are in doubt, that is not the time to get married. It is the time to really just stay together and figure it out or go your separate ways. But don't use marriage as a solution to a financial problem. Do you understand me? Now you know. Until next week, there's really only one thing that I want you to remember when it comes to your money, and it's this. People first, then money, then things. Now you stay safe. Bye-bye.